Sports here live on our Titan Game Day live post-game show presented by T-Dot. Nobody trashes Tennessee except for that second half. That was a brutal second half as the Titans lose to the Chicago Bears 24-17 after having a 17-0 lead and then a 17-3 halftime lead over the Bears. The Titans give up 0 touchdowns on defense. 14 points scored off of Bears touchdown, special teams, and a pick six thrown by Will Levis. And what a brutal way to start the 2024 NFL season for the Tennessee Titans. A lot to react to here on this post-game show. Easton Freeze with me. I'm Austin Stanley, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I don't care how mad you are, hit the like button because you can like this, but not like that.
Take out your anger on that like button. Smash it.
Absolutely. Yes. Hit the like button as mad as you are. We're going to talk about everything here live on our A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live post-game show here. We'll go through everything for our official open. A lot of stuff to get to. Will Levis disaster in the second half and what the defense did and what Caleb Williams didn't do. All of the things that ended in a 24-17 loss. All right, let's get it going officially. Welcome into Titan Game Day Live, the post-game show presented by BetMGM and T-Dot. Nobody trashes Tennessee. If you have not liked the show yet, please do that on Facebook and YouTube. Also, share the show on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch because we need more people in here. Talk about how bad that second half was. We're going to thank all of our sponsors of Titan Game Day Live this season, X Golf Nashville and Murfreesboro, now in Murfreesboro, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee. X Golf, play, train, entertain, playxgolf.com. BetMGM, log into your app today and get your Pro Football Boost Pack to acquire tokens for even more winnings. BetMGM, a official sponsor and partner of the Tennessee Titans. And T-Dot, be part of the solution to end littering and make sure nobody trashes Tennessee, especially on game day. Visit nobodytrashestennessee.com. So Easton Freeze, I'm Austin Stanley, here streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Make sure you give us all of your opinions. We'll go through and see how many comments we can read from the chat. I said at halftime that it'll be a very interesting post-game show, whether the Titans hold on to the lead or disaster strikes. And disaster absolutely struck as the Titans scored 0 points in the second half. The Bears put up 2 touchdowns, a blocked punt, and then a pick six with a couple of field goals and add a 2-point conversion on the pick six to make it a 24-17 score. And then Levis and the offense can't get it done. It ends with a Levis interception, his second of the day, to wrap up that 4th and 10 opportunity. Easton, I'll just toss it over to you. Okay, your turn. Go for it.
The Titans won the game, and then the Titans lost the game, and the Bears were also there. You know, that's the summary of the game. Our buddy Sam here at A to Z texted me after the game saying I should take my time calling him out on Twitter when the game is not already over yet. He is happy for his Bears, which, hey, fair play to him. I'm sure Sam will have many choice words for the listeners on the morning show next week when he gets back. Happy for him and his Bears. But his point to me was that the Bears are good. And I said, the Bears were also there. They didn't do anything. He said, the defense is good. We knew the defense was good. The defense was good last year. They won 7 games. Their offense didn't do anything. Like you mentioned, the Titans were largely instrumental in practically all of the points that the Bears scored. The Bears had 1 scoring drive on which they really earned it offensively. They had a 44-yard drive at the beginning of the second half. That was one of their field goals. But outside of that, their first field goal, they started on the Tennessee 34-yard line after a 67-yard kick return, massive special teams failure by the Titans. Touchdown, the first touchdown, blocked punt, touchdown return. Offense had nothing to do with that. Massive special teams failure by the Titans. That field goal right there, the first field goal in the second half, strip sack fumble, recovered at the Tennessee 31. Offense didn't go anywhere. They kicked practically from the same spot where they got the special team stop. And then their third and final field goal, that's the one. 11-play, 44-yard drive. That's a good drive. That was the only good thing the Bears offense did all day long. And then their last touchdown, obviously, a horrendous, inexcusable pick six by Will Levis. Very Carson Wentzy of him. Will Levis obviously doing his best Ryan Tannehill 2023 week 1 impression.
No, let me pause you. Let me pause you.
To be as bad as possible.
No. What Will Levis did in the second half today is why Tennessee Vols fans hated the draft pick. And I don't want to open up that can of worms, but
Please don't.
But to be honest, That is the reason why. Because Will Levis at Kentucky had such a bad problem with compounding catastrophic mistakes.
Sure.
Whether he was playing at Ole Miss in the Grove and ruining games there for Kentucky, or whether it was against the Tennessee Vols, this version of Will Levis is why so many fans that are crossover Tennessee Vols and Tennessee Titans fans hated the draft pick.
Because that's why he was a second round pick and not a top 10
and
pick.
He's got all the tools. He's 6'4", he's 230 pounds almost, and all of a sudden, like, he's got the arm. But this is it. This is the version of Will Levis that a lot of the fan base was against, because it is the decision making and the failure to not lose games. Now, I'm not even talking about winning games. The failure to not lose the game, because there was zero purpose for what he did to throw the pick six when the Titans were up 17-16. The Chicago Bears, they said at the end of the broadcast, the Chicago Bears won their first game in their franchise history since Rex Grossman gaining less than 150 total yards of offense.
Yeah.
So if I'm
Terrible
Will Levis, I'm sure Will Levis is doing this because I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't think he's dumb either. No. I think he is talking to his defense right now, apologizing as much as he can possibly do it, because that was atrocious. It was stupid. It wasn't rookie football. It was dumb football. And that is why the majority of Titans/Vols fans hated the draft pick. That's why I, Austin Stanley, co-founder of A to Z Sports, created the draft day sticky note that said, not Will Levis, no matter what. That's why I did that on draft day, because this is the type of stuff that Will Levis showed in college for multiple seasons at Kentucky. And here he was again, squandered the perfect opportunity for the Tennessee Titans to start 1-0. I'm sorry. Now you can, I just had to get that off.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. Again, it's very simple. This is why he was a second round pick and not a top 10 pick, because he has top 10 skills. He has top 10 raw traits. He has a top 10 build. And if he had top 10 decision making, he would have been a top 10 draft pick. He doesn't. And so that's why you take a flyer where the Titans did. And that's why it was a very good draft pick, because if you can fix the decision making, then you have a top 10 caliber player. Now, today was bad. I'm not going to tell you that it wasn't bad. It was bad. I think that this is a work in progress. Again, we have one of my favorite days of the entire year is Overreaction Monday, the first Monday after week one in the NFL, because we get to talk about all of the things that week one, ultimately in hindsight, we'll realize lied to us about, and some things trying to decipher what was real and what wasn't. And I'm not saying that for sure I'm not saying for sure that what you saw from Will Levis today is not what Will Levis actually is. What I am going to say is that I think it's awfully hasty to, in his first year in a new offense with a new head coach who was brought in and has made a large point to work on the decision-making with Will Levis, set him up for success, set him up to make smart decisions. What did we talk about at halftime, Austin? I said, the way that they blow this game is if they shoot themselves in the foot, if they make really poor decisions. All it takes is a couple of turnovers. And that's exactly what happened, unfortunately. I have always been one to not draw too much win or lose from week one. I think it is something you need to talk about. It's something, it's not nothing, it's not everything, if that makes sense. But I hear your point that version of Will Levis is what you have to kill. If you're Brian Callahan, you got to kill that guy if he's going to be your future.
And that's what they've spent since Brian Callahan was hired in January. They've spent since day one trying to kill that version of Will Levis. And Levis talked about being okay and good with the boring, which would have been taking the sack on the pick six play.
In the first half, he did what in first half, Will Levis was Will Levis as advertised by Brian Callahan as the guy that we want him to be. In the second half, he was Will Levis as advertised by his senior year college tape of this is what you don't want in a quarterback. You saw a very Jekyll and Hyde performance from him because, while he wasn't phenomenal in the first half, again, we were talking at halftime about how, hey, he's not putting the ball in harm's way. He's not making dumb decisions. That's good. That's boring. That's efficient football. And then he did the exact opposite in the second half. You've got two wolves inside of you. He has to kill the second half wolf and roll with what he did in the first half for the rest of the season if they want to succeed.
Yeah, I did see a comment here that I wanted to get to real quick. Yogi says Easton Freeze is making excuses for a bum. And like, one, I don't think Will Levis is a bum. I went on my rant about this version of Levis, but I do agree with your statement this is not fully what Will Levis can be as a quarterback in the NFL. Like I look, every NFL quarterback will have bad moments.
It was his 10th start. It was his
Yeah,
10th start.
right. But again, like it's the fact that it's frustrating because it cost them the game.
Right. And I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not excusing what he did in the second half at all. Let me make that super clear.
You're explaining the reality.
I'm explaining why you shouldn't give up. I'm not excusing what he did.
Because I agree. I don't think, like, I've seen comments, start Mason Rudolph next week. Now, the funny thing is, like, would the Titans have won today if Mason Rudolph was the quarterback? No, I don't think so. Because I don't think they would have gotten into scoring drives because Will Levis
played the second half. Just the full second half as Mason Rudolph, they might win the game.
Maybe because the pick six was everything, but still, like I think,
and the fumble,
I don't put on Levis as much. Like
not
the
as
pick
much.
six is squarely on Will Levis.
Yeah. The fumble was
JC Latham whiffed bad and let Darrell Taylor, newly acquired Bears edge rusher, have a couple sacks today, but allowed him free off the edge. So, but like Mason Rudolph wasn't able to get first downs with his legs like Will Levis was. I don't think Mason Rudolph is throwing the touchdown pass to Chigakonkwo like Will Levis did. So like but like, so the Titans, I don't think are starting or changing anything with their quarterback.
Absolutely not.
No. So I don't think, again, don't give up on Will Levis, but you can be mad as hell right now if you're a Titans fan.
Yeah, you should be as mad as Will Levis is currently, which I'm sure his face is a tomato in the locker room. I'm sure he won't sleep much tonight or tomorrow night. I'm sure when we speak to him on Wednesday at the Titans facility, he's not going to be super stoked about that conversation, and he's going to be very
deprecating.
Deprecating is the word. Thank you. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. It's very self-deprecating. I'd imagine we know this about Will Levis. For all of his faults, he's a perfectionist type. He's a very intense individual. And this isn't something that he's going to take laying down. I think this is something that he's going to own. Ultimately, I think, like, again, I guess I'm not as bummed as a lot of the Titans fans in the chat. And I see you, I hear you guys. You're very upset. You have every right to be upset.
Oh, I think Titans fans should be pissed.
No, they should be. I'm saying the reason why I'm not as pissed is because, one, like I said on my first show, in the morning show last week, I think that this team is going to be very up and down and have some really tough, maybe heartbreaking, maybe infuriating losses in the first half, first 2/3 of this season, because I think even though they have the pieces to put it together, it's going to take a while to gel. So I'm not shocked by this outcome. I'm not even all that shocked by a Will Levis roller coaster of a game, because again, I think you're going to get some of that from him. I see reasons for optimism in this loss, and I'm a naturally optimistic person, so maybe that's just something that people are going to have to deal with me. I think the defense was as good as they were better today than I expected them to be. The defense was.
I
think the defense was fantastic. I think the first half offense was very good. I think the second half offense was terrible. And I think the entire game special teams was terrible. So to me, it was kind of a 50-50, very good, very bad kind of day for the Titans on all three phases.
All right, A to Z Sports here live, Titan Game Day live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Make sure you hit the like button. We're about to get to you guys a lot in the comments, and
let's hear it.
I am guaranteeing some very colorful vocab words to come here in a second, because we do this to start every post-game show. And Easton, you're new to the A to Z Sports Titan Game Day live post-game show. Some of the chat, you might be as well. We do have a lot of super chats that we'll get to here momentarily, but we always start off our first segment with one word. What is one word to describe the Titans' loss today to the Chicago Bears, 24-17? What is one word to describe the Titans' loss today, 24-17 to the Chicago Bears? But first, let me tell you guys about T-Dot. And did you know that there are over 88 million pieces of litter on Tennessee roadways right now? It's a massive problem. We could all help by be part of the solution. T-Dot spends over $23 million each year cleaning up litter, but they can't do it alone. You can help by making simple changes like stopping littering yourself, pick up litter when you see it, and join local cleanups like A to Z is going to do here soon. Every action counts. Tennessee needs all of us to step up, be a part of the solution, and help keep Tennessee beautiful. Visit Nobody Trashes Tennessee to get involved. Nobody Trashes Tennessee, especially on game day. Once again, NobodyTrashesTennessee.com. Easton, to the chat you go. Since I started talking about T-Dot, 181 comments have been made. One word to describe the Titans' loss today. I will let you do your best ciphering through all of these.
Here we go. David said offensive. Daniel, abysmal. Some other people with words that I don't know if I can say on this show or not because I'm
Yeah.
new.
And you can click on them too as well to
Okay,
bring them up
sure.
on the
Here's
screen.
one from Mr.
Not the bad
Jones.
one, not the bad ones though.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Yama trash. Alex nostalgic, which is tough. I think you got a little bit. I saw somebody tweet in the first half that the Titans are back, and in the second half they quote tweeted and said, "Sorry, the 2014 Titans are back." Vrabelish from Robbie. Ugly. Joshua says. Brian just says Levis is the word. Fade. A little bit of optimism here. Adjustments. Brian feels fleeced. I hope Brian didn't have, maybe he feels fleeced money-wise because he bet on the Titans. Pathetic from AJ. Deflating, James says. Avalanche from Pistol. Should I share my word,
Yeah,
Austin?
bring
Okay.
it on.
My word is I guess it's technically a compound word. Self-destructive, I think, is the correct way to describe today's game. Again, I think the apt way to sum up what happened was the Titans won the game and then they lost the game and the Bears were there to watch them do it. I'm trying to think of what the Bears did. Like if I was a Bears analyst
Special
right
teams.
now,
The
what are we
special
talking
teams.
about? Right. Bears special teams. Wow. Fantastic start for the special teams. That's what you're running with, right? That's your
Right.
lead.
I mean, I think that the Bears are probably talking about it was the perfect time to call the punt block blitz because the Titans were a little bit comfortable and sleeping on it, and the Bears sent pressure at the right time to flip the game. And then they were just very opportunistic when it comes to Will Levis's mistakes. Like, I don't. They were aggressive in their own right on defense. I think the Bears did a really good job of adjusting to the creativity that the Titans offense was doing. I think Dylan Radin's getting hurt in that game changed a little bit about what the Titans wanted to do offensively because you can move Radins by pulling him, by doing all types of things, and Andrew Rupchich is just not as good of a player. It's crazy that we're saying how Dylan Radin's getting hurt changed the Titans offense drastically, but I truly do think that made a difference.
Well, as the broadcast said, he's their best offensive lineman.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
I know, but they said it twice on the broadcast.
Right, but he was making good plays. They were doing things with Dylan Radins' athleticism. They were opening up runs for Tony Pollard and for Will Levis.
Yes.
And things got stale in the second half offensively. So that, but I think self-destructive. Yeah, the Titans lost this game. Like the Bears didn't score a touchdown on offense. Like you said it beautifully to open the show. The Bears offense earned 5 points today. The 2-point conversion was a great play.
Fair.
Right.
Fair.
The 2-point conversion was a great play, but they earned one of those 2 field goals because the return game, the special teams, put them into that.
Yeah, you mentioned the loss of Radin's mid-game, which certainly had an impact. Honestly, I was expecting after having lost him to come on the show and talk about how, man, you get Rupchich in there and they're bullying Rupchich. And I will caution, I'll do this all year long. I'll caution anybody to make any sweeping offensive line remarks based off of the first watch of the television copy. O-line, you need to go back and at least watch the television copy again, probably the All-22, which I'll do later this week. But based on what we saw, it felt like the issues in the second half were not necessarily an Andrew Rupchich thing. There were a couple of really poor plays from J.C. Latham, one of which led to the strip sack fumble. Peter Skoronski in the run game getting fooled or bullied a couple of times. Upon the replay, you could see just him being a net negative impact on the running scheme, and that's what caused. You had a number of Tony Pollard just banging into the back of the offensive line for 0, -1, -2 yards in the second half. Not something you, first of all, saw in the first half, but it felt like a real departure for the Titans because Titans fans are used to seeing that more feudal running style in the first half of a game, and then in the second half, when all else fails, hey, Derrick Henry is going to have Warren on them. He'll lean on them. We can pick up 3, 4, 5, 6 yards a run at least, and you can get momentum. It's kind of the opposite today, right? They had momentum in the first half. Second half, the run game kind of died. Austin, what's your one word? Are you thinking the same way that I am here?
Implode. I mean, the Titans imploded, and they had really, it's just the offense imploded because the defense still did a really good job.
Defense had a great day, man. Great day.
And that's what sucks. I did see somebody had a comment. I'm gonna get the super chats here in a second because we got a lot of them. And show mode's like my super chats must be red. We got them. They're coming. Richard says A to Z doesn't allow optimism. Every loss, the sky is falling. No, I don't think so at all. Like I definitely think, yeah, Easton, well, who's new to A to Z, has been optimistic. But like, no, I think Titans fans should be pissed because you had this game. Like you should not be optimistic right now. Like in the 3:00 Central Time hour on Sunday, September 8th, you should not be optimistic because you missed out on 1-0 and you come home to the Jets. Like I think I'm looking at it as far as the opportunity missed to have a lot of more buzz around this team, a home opener against the Jets on a short week versus Aaron Rodgers. You're 1-0. If you beat the Jets, bonus. Because guess who's coming to town week 3? Malik Willis, as of right now. Maybe Ryan Tannehill. That's why I think Titans fans in this hour should be mad. Now, maybe you cool off in a couple hours. Tomorrow morning when Zach and I do this show, I guarantee you I will be less mad than Zach because I've had this opportunity to let it out, and I'll sleep on it. And I don't know what Zach's going to feel when we talk Monday morning on the show, but that's where – but that it's in the moment right now. Yeah, you deserve to be mad because you had the perfect opportunity to spoil Caleb Williams and to make it go 15-1. But now it's 14-1. And the guy who had the 1, which is the first overall pick win for a rookie quarterback in a week 1 debut since 2002, and he didn't even score any points offensively. Like that is what you allowed that 14-1 to be.
Okay, but you said it a moment ago, Austin. There are two different appropriate negative reactions after a game. One of which is being mad about that game, being mad about a lost opportunity in that game, being mad about something specifically that happened in a vacuum in week fill in the blank, week 1 in this instance. And then there's being mad and maybe more sad about the future. There are outcomes of games that lead you to reasonably be genuinely worried about not just today, but next week and the following week and the rest of the season. I don't see this game as the kind of outcome that will reasonably lead you to be super negative about the future. I think you have every right to, and probably should be, royally pissed off about what happened in week 1. But I don't think what happened in week 1 should make you super negative about week 2, week 3, week 4, and on. Does that make sense? I don't think it should affect your optimism or pessimism about this team because I think reasonable people came into this season feeling how I did, that it's going to be a lot of this up and downs. And then maybe if you came in expecting them to be a lot better than folks were thinking out of the gate, then you're less optimistic, but you shouldn't have been, in my opinion.
Well, and so Easton, both you and I predicted this team to finish 9-8.
Right.
And I don't know if you would have thought 9-8 would have meant a win today or a loss today, right? Or did you have this? I mean, you picked it pregame as a win, but that's different than your full season prediction, right? But like,
I have them getting through 12 games with 5 or 6 wins. So I had this, there's a handful of these games I think that are kind of coin flips. Today was one.
Right. So win a coin flip. You had the coin flip. Like you had the odds of the coin flip in your favor.
You did.
And then you kicked it off the cliff.
That's right. That's right.
Like you were bending down to pick up the coin that you just won and you kicked it.
You're Velus Jones trying to field that first half kick.
Exactly.
And you just punt it back to the other team.
So we got into this, like, how mad should Titans fans be right now? It's because I do think this team will be better as the season goes on. But you had a chance to start off 1-0 and your quarterback didn't play great. And you had a chance and it was stolen from you. Or not even stolen from you. The Bears barely did anything to steal it. It was just, you literally, my other one word was going to be fumbled because they fumbled it away.
Totally.
And that's where I think you should be very disappointed and mad. Optimism of the big picture. Sure, there are things because, guys, the Titans defense is so good.
They sure look. I mean,
so good.
The Bears offense might actually kind of suck. I want to maybe pump the brakes on it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'm with you that I think they're really good, but I think next week against the Jets, for example, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't die in the first instance of the season again, I think the Jets offense could make this Titans defense It could be kind of a comeback to earth moment because I think this Bears offense might not be very good yet.
Well, I mean, I'm not expecting the Titans to hold a team to 150 yards a game, right? Like
Ever again this year.
No, it's not going to happen again. But like the Titans defense can be very good and give up 300 yards to the Jets next week. They gave up 0 points. Like, I mean, they earned 3.
Right.
They gave up 3 if we want to talk about the special teams impact on that. And so I really do think the Titans defense is good. All right,
He has no glaring holes either. That's the biggest thing. You can't watch that defensive performance and be like, man, they're good, but that one position, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I thought everybody had flashes. I thought everybody looked fine.
I agree. All right, super chats. I'm going to go in chronological order that they came into here. Like the show if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Please hit that like button. Titan Game Day Live. Hit the like button for us. We're going to have Buck and Sam are working from the locker room and press conferences there in Chicago with more great coverage to come later on. David says O-line was massive reason for defeat. I don't know if I truly agree.
Massive is a reach.
Massive is too much. The offensive line can be better, and I'm sure it will be as the season goes on.
They were bad in the second half. So in terms of the offense not scoring points, I'm with David that the offensive line was a big part of that.
Yeah, massive is very strong. All right, Elks, who is Big Ten Jeff in YouTube disguise. He says Will Levis is awful, and the Bears are awful.
Okay.
Will Levis played awful in the second half.
For half the game, yeah.
Outside of the Calvin Ridley 22-yard catch to start that last drive, I don't really know what he did that was super impressive.
The Chig touchdown catch was a good ball.
I'm talking about in the second half.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
In the second half.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's about it.
I need to rewatch it, but yet nothing stands out. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Kick It to the King says, how do you lose a game and you score 2 touchdowns and the other team scores 0? It's bad math equation. This is on Levis, but the rest of the year is left for him. So like, yeah, I think that's the brutal aspect of this is that your defense did everything it should have done to win the damn game.
Yeah. How do you lose a game like that? We just watched. That's how.
And then,
he's right, by the way, that Levis has 17 games this year. There is no world in which Levis, unless he gets hurt, he's playing the season, guys.
Chill mode nails it. 17 points, 17 again. What in the world? What in the fill in the blank of chill mode?
It's their glass ceiling as a franchise. It survived the coaching change.
It's absolutely crazy that they cannot get more than 17 points in some of these games.
Next time they get to 16 on a touchdown, they need to either go for 2 or intentionally miss. Just don't land on 17 for any reason, you know?
All right. Darren has a message to Rand Carthon, Titans GM. Rand, listen to me now. Shop 16 and tell Callie we're not here to run down people's throats. Throw the ball early and often. Levis, this is still on you, though. Knew it'd be rough, but still. Let's talk about Treylon Burks for a second.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what Darren's saying. Shop 16.
I don't know why we need to talk about him, though.
No, because we do. Because Treylon Burks is, and I tweeted this, and they got a lot of attention. I don't understand why now Brian Callahan, after Mike Vrabel's staff, has any type of desire to run Treylon Burks on the end around. He's not good at it.
With you on this. I completely
disagree. You disagree?
Yeah, I tweeted. I think I saw your tweet. I tweeted before you. Yes, they should use him this way this year. Let the big fast guy be big and fast.
He's not fast.
Yes, he is. What do you mean he's not fast? Have you seen him run?
He's not fast in that situation. He's not fast running in a circle.
He's not fast, shifty, but he is fast.
Which is why you should not run him on end arounds and reverses.
You don't need to be shifty to be an end around guy. You need to be able to get up ahead of steam really quickly. And if it's blocked well, you run past everybody. The first end around they ran today with Burks was a very successful play. And then the second one, you had 2 guys fail on their blocks and he got tackled. That's how that works.
But he's not quick enough to do it. It's like the toss play with Derrick Henry. It's not his play. I don't know what Treylon Burks' play is, but I despise the fact that they keep trying to do this with Treylon Burks. He's not quick enough. And like you said, he builds up ahead of steam, not quick enough. It doesn't work very well. Like Treylon Burks needs to be going downhill, not sideways. Sideways, he's not fast. He's slow sideways. And
on an end around, the reason you do the end around is to get up ahead of steam to go downhill. It's not to run sideways.
He can't do it. The most successful Treylon Burks.
The first time they did it today, he did it really well.
6 yards. Like
it was a very successful play.
It was a successful play on first.
It was the teach tape on we can do this. This is a good guy to run this play.
No, I don't like it. I think Calvin Ridley would have gained 9 on that play.
No, because
Yes.
Yes. Treylon ran over a guy and broke a tackle. The kind of thing that Ridley's not.
Calvin Ridley would have been by him.
Eh.
Calvin Ridley would have gained more yards in the first.
Listen, I think Calvin Ridley's a good player. And I'm not saying he's better than.
There is no way you can deny that. Calvin Ridley would have gained more yards.
I need to go back and watch the play.
Yeah, you can do it. And just,
know
how fast Calvin Ridley is. He's way faster than Treylon Burks, way quicker than Treylon Burks. And
he's what?
Way quicker than Treylon.
Oh, I thought you said bigger. I was like, what? No, okay. He's quicker. He's quicker. Yeah. We can agree to disagree on that. We can agree to disagree.
Not need to do anything. All right, let me get back to some more super chat.
My point to why are we talking about him is because Treylon Burks had no bearing on this game. He was like, he had a good play, he had a bad play. That was the Treylon Burks experience.
Right, and then he almost he didn't get a penalty, but I thought he and Stevenson were going to draw.
Oh, yeah. He needed to chill out.
Yep. TLG says Levis is the exact same guy he was last year, reckless and uncontrolled when the stakes are high. Damn, what a disappointment. Hello, darkness.
Did you tune in at halftime, TLG? Because after the first half, we were saying, wow, this guy's not the same guy as last year.
But
if your point is that by the end of the game, he reverted into that guy, yes. But to say that he is the same guy, what we saw from Will Levis in the first half of this game, we didn't see that guy at all last year. That comfortable, boring, efficient, safe player. We did not see that in his first 9 starts first 9 games as a rookie. So that's a different guy. We got a glimpse of him. You didn't see him the full game, and the Dr. Jekyll came out.
Yeah,
Mr. Hyde came out, and ruined it.
I don't think you should give him credit like you're doing it. Because he didn't. I think if it was reversed, if it was the other way around, if it was bad in the first half and better in the second half, I think you give him credit for that. But it was the fact that he went bad. He went bad again after being good means he's not disciplined. No.
Yes. You're right that it's better to be the reverse because then you probably win the game. Although it's a bad comparison because if we literally just reverse it, they still lose. He just almost comes back.
Strike says that makes him that guy then. Like if he was good and then he was bad again, but before the game was over, Strike is correct. It makes him that same guy.
No, because the point coming out of last year is that I'm not sure he can be this player. I'm not sure he can play a football game this way. And then he did it for 30 minutes out there on the field. It's
30 minutes does you nothing.
It's a proof of concept.
No,
yes,
it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
If you are able to do it once, you can do it again. Ask any coach.
This doesn't count as once because
he do it once. I can get you to do it again. This is like coaching 101.
He lost the game because he didn't do it in the second half.
Yes, so he's a work in progress. No one's saying he's not a work in progress.
That doesn't count. Again, I'm with Shrike. That makes him the guy.
It doesn't count for everything, but it counts for something. And I think it's very silly to say otherwise. Because if he never showed you that guy, then we'd still be saying, I'm not sure you can be that guy. He literally showed you for a half an hour that he can be that guy. He's just got to be able to stay that guy. That's something like, am I the only person that watched Josh Allen turn into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? This is what he did. I am not saying Will Levis is Josh Allen, but the second year of the Josh Allen experience when the tide started to turn, he had so many games just like this, where it was Jekyll and Hyde. It was like, I think the guy's in there, but holy crap, Dr. Hyde comes out and it ruins everything. He still sometimes does it. Josh Allen last year, opening game against the Jets, where he kind of lost in the game. Mr. Hyde came out and ruined it. Like that, the fact that we see it in Josh Allen and he can do it more often, eventually he got there. It took everybody 3 years to come around on him. I'm not saying Will Levis is going to do that, but the fact that he's shown you, hey, there is some of that in there that counts for something. It does.
I just can't give him credit for a half when he ruined it in the second half.
I'm not asking you to absolve him of his sins. I'm saying acknowledge that he did something for the first time in his career that we've been asking for him to do.
Right. He did. And then he immediately kicked it off the cliff.
And it is week 1 in his 10th game. He's got time to improve.
All right. But it was so unnecessary.
It was. So be mad at him about it today. But don't dismiss the fact that he did for a moment do the thing that you've been asking him to do.
If he takes the sack instead of throws the pick 6, this game is very interesting down the stretch. Yeah. Sure. Right? Sure.
That's all he has to do. But take the reversal, Austin. Say the reverse did happen. Let's say he was, it was awful. He was throwing the game away. That they were losing by 17 points at half, and then they ended up winning the game. The Titans come back as Will Levis did what he did in this first half. In the second half, you and everyone in the comments would be sitting here saying, "Man, maybe he isn't that guy after all." Just because of the order. The Dolphins game.
Yes, that was it. Sure. Right. The Dolphins game. Throw the pick six early, get run through by the D-line and you scored, and then come back and win the game, right? That because it's forward progress. This is backpedaling and tripping over yourself and smacking your head against the ground. That's what this is.
And so you be mad about that, but you don't dismiss the fact that he did the thing. He did do the thing. Now, if it's like this every week where it's like you can only get one good half of him, then sure. But this was a one singular one time he did this. You now need to see progress. Next week, you need to not like if he has a very poor half next week, then we can talk about like maybe he's just this guy. But one is not a sample size.
All right. Chill Mode says, fun fact, today is September 8th, 9/8, 9 and 8. It's 17, and it's his birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Brutal on that. Ben saying Titans beat the Bears, then they beat themselves, which is kind of what your whole point of the game is.
Yeah.
The Titans were winning the game, then they lost the game, and the Bears watched, which I think is a good way to put it and accurate as well. TLG comes back, another super chat. The Titans might be the LA Clippers of the NFL. Regardless of the talent, find a way to limit the success. Maybe so. Maybe so. All right.
Let's see a couple more games.
Sightseeing says, O-line trash, pass game trash, bad mistakes, 5-win max.
Okay. Is that a haiku?
I don't know. Maybe. I think they can win more than 5 games after losing to the Bears.
Yes.
But I did like what I saw from Brian Callahan at the end of the first quarter and throughout the second quarter. I liked that offense, how they were moving things around. For whatever reason, it stopped happening, and Will Levis threw it in the trash can in the second half. Darren just comes back and says 16 is a net negative. I think we can all agree.
I'm shocked that everybody's takeaway from this game was anything Treylon Burks related.
No, it's not everybody's takeaway. It's one guy who's
I've seen an outsized amount of people in the comments talking about
Easton,
Treylon
you're going to learn that Titans fans are very passionate about what Treylon Burks isn't doing. And because of where he was drafted, who got traded before he was drafted there, and what that guy did Friday night in Brazil and what Treylon Burks can't do. That's why.
Okay.
Fade says Calvin didn't run the right route at the end of the first down. That was killer.
True.
That seems, but again, that was what was happening in training camp, right? The whole thing of Levis and Ridley not quite on the same page.
Yep.
And
that's still cooking. That connection's not 100%.
For sure. All right. We always do this in the post-game show. We always ask one word. We went through the one words, and I wanted to get the super chats. And now we're just going to have to continue to beat the dead horse. But that is because we have to grade. We have to grade Will Levis's play because we do it every post-game show. So we're going to keep it consistent. Grading Will Levis's play. How do you grade Will Levis? A letter grade is how we're going to go about it. His official stats, Easton, 19 of 32, 127 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He threw 2 picks. The second one is whatever, 4th and 10. But the first one was the difference in the game. Sacked 3 times for 25 yards. He did run the ball 4 times for 36. Ran for a couple first downs. How do you grade Will Levis in this performance where the Titans lose 24-17?
Well, the comments are all over F. A couple of D's, D pluses in there. I don't think I can find a single. Somebody said an E. There's one C minus. I found 1 Z minus. Yeah. A Z plus is a new one. A couple C's are coming in. Kelvin, it's a D plus for me.
Kelvin says C flat, which might be the highest that I've seen.
Yeah, I've not seen any B's anything, which it shouldn't be.
I see a few more C's.
I'll give him a D plus because I think he had a B first half and I think he had an F second half. So that's what is that? C minus D plus average. I don't have any further analysis because we kind of all broke it down.
I think it's a flat out F because I think the second half was that bad.
Okay.
Because he is the singular reason why the Titans lost the game.
I don't think that's very coherent because if he'd been if he'd done what he did second half for the whole game and they lost by 47, what are you gonna give him, an F minus?
But he lost. He failed the team.
Okay, well then your rubric is just pass fail then. It's not letter grade.
No, it's not. It's because of the mistake in the second half was catastrophic. It killed them. Like they died because of Will Levis.
Yes.
So F, fail. Like, if he got, all right,
I'm starting to think you're putting too much of this on Levis, because two of the scoring instances here were special teams. Like, let's not absolve the special teams of their catastrophic failure.
All right, here's what I'll say.
The ultimate failure was Levis at the end.
Will Levis was an F because of the pick six, because of what happened.
Yes.
Now let's say this. Let's say he takes that sack and does not throw the pick six that loses the game.
And the
Titans still lose,
right?
Because the Bears kick a field goal to win 19-17.
Sure.
Then I think Will Levis is probably in the D+ to C- range. If he takes the sack and they lose,
that's fine. But what you said a moment ago was that Will Levis lost in the game, and I think that's one step too far. I think it's one step too far.
No, he killed them.
If they had an average day on special teams, they would have won despite him. He would not have lost in the game.
No, he killed them. They were winning the game. 17-16, they were winning the game. He threw a pick six. They died.
He put the last nail in the coffin. But if they had an average special teams day, just average, just boring and average, they would have won despite Will Levis trying to lose. That's my point, is that the special teams were a strong second place in terms of places to put blame in this game. I mean, they almost got the punter killed again.
Oh, I know.
It resulted in a touchdown.
Yeah, and special teams
they allowed a 67-yard kick return.
Yes. Several good punt returns, too.
Yes, multiple very good returns. I mean, you mentioned, I think you tweeted something about the Gunners.
What's
going on there? They've just ran past the guy every time.
It did get better as the game went on.
Did a Gunner make a single tackle?
Yeah, and NWI kind of got it there towards the end. But like the first, not to get too distracted from the Levis grade, we'll come back to it. But on the first two punt returns by the Bears, NWI was the only gunner down there when the ball was caught by the returner. And then he made NWI miss, and I don't know where the other guy was.
Right.
But it did get better throughout the game after that, and they started to have better coverage on punts. It's still not great overall. But back to the Will Levis thing, no, he lost them the game. Like, Will Levis's pick six is the number one reason why the Titans lost today. The second biggest reason why they lost
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Is special teams.
Yes, I'm just saying, let's not, I think Will Levis is probably 60% of the reason they lost, and the special teams was about 40%. I'm leaving out a lot of percentage points here, but
that's way too light on, again, because you cannot throw that football.
So let me ask, can I ask you this, Austin? If he had thrown the pick six at the end of the first quarter, and then the kickoff, the punt block touchdown was the score that gave the Bears the lead, would you still be saying that Will Levis lost in the game?
No, because they would have been winning.
Then that's not logically coherent.
No, it absolutely is, though, Easton. Because
I understand that situationally you need to know not to make that play.
And
I understand
it's the whole thing is situational, because it's not that he threw a pick six. If he dropped back, made the wrong read, and threw a pick six, and a guy made an incredible play and jumped it and ran it back for a touchdown, then that sucks, because that's just a pick. It's the fact that he was getting sacked and he flipped it backhanded towards the sideline. That's dumb.
Yeah.
So that loses the game. That's why he gets an F. It's one play. That one play failed the test.
Okay. So you're proving that yours is a pass fail grade. In this case, it's pass fail. Because if he had thrown for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns, but then that play lost in the game, you would still be saying F, right? That's what you're saying.
Because that singular play was so bad and so avoidable too.
Sure.
Avoidable.
Okay. Which is fine.
Yes, because they lost.
Okay, so in this game, this is great as pass fail for you because of that one play.
The one play was so bad it makes it failure. Yes,
that's okay.
The one play was that bad.
Okay.
I
gave him a D+. I barely did him better. But
again, if he takes the sack and the Titans lose 19-17 because the Bears come down and kick a field goal, D+, C-, somewhere around there.
Okay. All right.
It's that bad of a play, and they lost the game.
Okay.
I feel very strongly about that, because you cannot make the catastrophic plays.
One last hypothetical question.
Okay.
Let's say that all the things that happened, but then on the last drive of the play, the Titans, it's an 80-yard drive, and 72 of the yards are in the running or the screen game. Tyjae Spears just puts the team on his back, and they end up winning or tying and going to overtime because of a fantastic rushing effort. So they win despite that pick six. Would he still be getting a failing grade if he didn't do anything to come back?
No, but
it's on the running backs.
No, but he also is part of that. Like, Will Levis is very much a part of the running game when it getting into calls and executing and doing the whole like he's a part of that.
So it's not the fact that he made the pick six, it's that he did it and they lost because they found a way to win.
It's because he could have taken a sack and they would have been winning still.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they had somehow found a way to win that game, because they had the ball. I mean, they had the ball with a chance to tie at the end of the game.
Oh, if he came back down and won the game, or if he came back down and tied the game and they went to overtime and the Titans lose, I wouldn't give him an F.
Okay.
Because he overcame it. It's it's all situational. It's because this one play cost them the football game today, and they are 0-1 instead of 1-0.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just curious. Yeah. Okay. We can move on. I'm just getting into hypotheticals at this point.
Yeah. No, for sure. Darren says that one play was not putting your name on the paper.
Good way to put it.
And so now the teacher's like, I don't know who to give this to. So big red F, circle it, and
you actually skip one on the Scantron, and then every question's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, kind of, because yes. And now, all right, Austin Tucker on YouTube. We'll get off of Will Levis. Austin Tucker on YouTube says, why are y'all not talking about the lack of coaching adjustments in the second half? Offensively. I think that's a good point. Easton, what are your thoughts on this comment here about not adjusting in the second half?
It's certainly part of it. And this is getting to the point that I do, as much as I'm with you, I'm not. Part of that was just playing devil's advocate. I wanted to make, because I'm seeing people in the comments saying, what is Easton not understanding? I get it. I'm with you that was obviously the play that lost them the game. Will Levis was the chief reason why they lost this game. My point is just that this wasn't like, man, 21 of the 22 people on the field for the Titans today were playing great. If it weren't for that guy under center, there were plenty of other things to point to. There were some team losing things, and the coaching staff being pretty stagnant in that second half in terms of play calling offensively. I'm with Austin. I think that was Austin said it 100%. Austin Tucker. I'm with you 100%. I thought that in the first half, after those first couple of drives, like we were talking about at halftime, they started to find a rhythm. They're getting the ball, diversifying their assets with who they're getting the ball to. They were mixing it up. They had a couple of clever play calls, keeping it fresh, passing on first down, unexpected times to run the ball. Some interesting read options. Will Levis designed run. That's cool. And then the second half, and I think the rewatch is going to be really telling as to how much of this was them feeling a little bit handicapped by having lost Radens, the offensive line starting to take on water there in the second half. I think that was certainly part of it. I think Will Levis mentally it felt like he was kind of rattled there, especially in the fourth quarter at times. I think that was probably part of it. And they went into, sometimes you can tell when a coaching staff is like, let's go into training wheels mode and get this guy some momentum. Let's get some feel good plays in here, as opposed to let's get some efficient, effective plays. I felt that a little bit in terms of the play calling, but overall, I think the coaching staff absolutely deserves blame for not adjusting. Now, again, the optimist in me says this is a brand new coaching staff. I kind of expect brand new coaching staffs to not be excellent on day one at in-game adjustments, because in-game adjustments are that's how you separate the wheat from the chaff, right? The best coaches of all time are not just the best guys at bringing in an awesome game plan. They're the best at making adjustments on the fly and figuring out how to win when they face adversity. I think I'm going to give Brian Callahan like a month to figure that out. There needs to be progress. Today needs to be the floor because it was bad, but I think that there's room for improvement there.
Easton, I'll ask you a question because I do think it's on the coaching staff part of things. How many first downs do you think the Titans had in the second half offensively? And I'm including the last drive of the game where,
so
how
many do they have on the whole game? Do you have the full game number?
I do have it, but I was curious to see what you thought about the second half. How many first downs the Titans convert in the second half of that game?
I mean, it's a low number, like 6?
5.
Okay.
And one of them was Ridley, 22 yards to start that drive, right?
Right.
They had 16 for the game. The Bears only had 11 the whole game.
Yeah, let's reiterate. The Bears offense sucked today. They were quite bad.
And the Titans defense was very, very good.
Both of those things are probably
while the Bears sucked. But I think the Titans defense made the Bears suck more than they.
But do you really think that what the Bear offense we saw today against like just a super average defense is going to How good do they look? I think at best they're an average offense right now. I do not think the Bears are an excellent offense.
I think they have really good pieces, and a lesser defense would have allowed DeAndre Swift or DJ Moore to make plays.
Okay, that's fair.
Because look how good the Titans tackled after some of the completions.
That's
like,
that's
not
true.
a lot of
Caleb Williams was really inaccurate today. He was just
why?
Flat inaccurate.
Because he was running. Because he was
some of the time he just was plainly inaccurate.
But he had skittish.
Yeah, I'm not trying to absolve the Titans. I'm not trying to take away what the Titans defense did. But I think the rest of the month, I don't know who the Bears play. I think that their offense is not going to look great for a while.
Maybe. And the Titans might be in the similar boat.
I think they are.
But the offense is better than the Bears. Yes.
The Titans offense is better than the Bears offense?
Yes.
Well, yes, the Titans offense scored all 17 of their points today. So,
yeah.
The Bears offense scored, what did we say, 5?
5 points. Well, I'm giving them the 2-point conversion.
In terms of earning. Right. Yeah. They earned about 5 of those points. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you look at total yards. Man. Remember how many yards I said the Titans had at halftime? 179. They ended with 244.
Okay, I was gonna guess like 240. Yeah.
That's it. And the Bears ended had 50 in the first half and ended with 147. So the Bears outgained the Titans in the second half, even by not really doing much on the scoreboard. Pretty brutal. All right, another super chat here. Couple super chat. I did think this was interesting from Fade. I'm curious to your thoughts on it, Eason. Why not Brunskill instead of Rupchich?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Fade. I spent a lot of last season defending Daniel Brunskill. I think that he's a serviceable guard in this league. I'd imagine the primary reason is just because I think they genuinely were impressed with what they saw from Rupchich, especially that third preseason game. He had some impressive play on tape. And then with Brunskill, there's an element of them. He's their last defense at center. He's their direct backup. If they need center help, they need him available. And so if they put him in there as the backup guard in this game and he gets hurt in this game, and then later this game or next week, they need a backup center, good luck. Yeah. So I think there's some of that.
That was going to be my answer. I think they're so worried about not having Daniel Brunskill be their backup center that they're not going to play him anywhere else.
Because I mean, you'd have to pull up from the practice squad.
Corey Levin?
Levin. Yeah. That's your third center, right?
Yeah. Yes. And he is in the practice squad. But yeah, and plus Daniel Brunskill has been hurt a decent amount of his time year plus in Nashville. So you don't want a guy who has the tendency to be hurt playing backup right guard.
Not
and something happens at Cushenberry and then you're really SOL. Right. Yeah, I do agree with that one. Zachary Smith comes in and says, at least the Titans are not Panthers fans.
Holy cow, Zachary. Yeah. Panthers. Yeah. If you're a Panthers fan today, do you just do you call Sunday Ticket and say, I'd like to cancel the rest of my year subscription? Do you
No, you just lean hard on your fantasy team is what you do.
You can't feel worse about the situation your team is in than the Panthers fans today. I have a question for you, Austin. This is along the lines of my optimism, but I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of us 4 hours ago before the game. When we didn't know what was going to happen, we knew that the national narrative was the Titans might not score 10 points. The Bears have been favored all spring. This is the coordination for them. In my head, there was, I was strongly, I think this is going to be a close game, but there was still a part of me that was like, if the Bears blow them out, I'll be surprised, but I won't be shocked. I think it's within the realm of possibility. I think a lot of things would have to go wrong, and Titans would have to do a lot of the boneheaded things they did in the second half of this game, the whole game, to get killed. But it could happen. Was the Bears just thoroughly dominating the game on your bingo card as a possibility when we started?
Not really.
Okay. So maybe this is a bad question for you in particular. Okay. But I think that with a lot of Titans fans, especially Will Levis detractors, may have come into this game thinking, tough first draw, the Bears might kill us. I know that nationally, a lot of folks thought the Bears might kill the Titans.
No, I thought this was the best time to get the Bears. And
I did too.
Correct. And it was right. And the Titans ruined it. The Titans blew it. Yeah. So we're bad guinea pigs for this question. But I think for the chat, maybe the question is, if I told you before the game, your options were, hey, the Bears lead by about 10 points the entire game. It's never really close. Maybe the Titans make it close at the end with a garbage time score, but it's clear the Titans were outclassed by the Bears and the Titans have a lot of problems. No,
Or,
I think
or
both fan bases came in today saying we're kicking their ass. I literally,
you
I
think Titans
legitimately,
fans felt that way? Really?
yes, I
I think that's
legitimately
kind of
feel
delusional.
like both. Well, it's also delusional from the Bears fans.
I agree.
I think both fan bases thought way too highly of their offenses.
Sure.
And
Well, but my ultimate point is if you had been given the options between, like I said a moment ago, being outclassed, never really close, and what happened today, where the Titans looked good for a half and then they totally blew it. They took out a gun and shot themselves in the foot 6 times in a row. Which would you feel worse about? I think unequivocally you feel worse about, like, man, we're just not there. We're outclassed. It's not happening. Whereas, while this is infinitely more frustrating, I think it's not as depressing, but it's more frustrating to lose the way you did today. At least you saw a proof of concept of, okay, if they can just not be dumb and eliminate the stupidity, eliminate ridiculous special teams play, then we might actually have a team.
I still think the Titans can win more games than they lose this year. Like, I picked 9-8.
I agree.
I'm
That
not
doesn't change my
bailing on
opinion.
that.
Me neither.
I thought that a close Bears win was probably the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
I thought the second more likely outcome was the Titans winning, like, comfortably.
Right. Touchdown, 10 points.
Which comfortably in the NFL is like 7 or more, but in a way where the Bears score late to make it 7, not like what happened today for the Bears. But I thought the Bears winning a close game was the most likely outcome, which is, I predicted 24-20 in the pregame show, and I was a field goal away from the Titans. And you had I think you said what,
21-24
Titans. You flipped it.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So look, it's the Titans had every business winning that game today until they kicked it off the cliff. Like, they just fumbled it away, and then damn, there it went. It's like you had your keys to the car, and then you accidentally dropped them in that place between your driver's seat and the console, and you're like, right. They're gone. Now I have to spend $500.
You were walking down the street on the sidewalk. You dropped your phone into the sewer grate, and then it's gone forever.
Exactly.
You're never finding it. It's over.
That's over. I have to get a new car.
Yep.
That's exactly what it felt like today.
Yeah.
And you're like whistling, like spinning your keys around your finger, like having a great bam.
Exactly to the ocean. Yep. I agree.
All right. That is our first post-game show. Appreciate all of our all you guys for watching and liking the show. It's been
up from here.
A hell of a time. We're coming up on an hour, so we're going to go ahead and end it there. Buck Rising and Sam Thalen are in Chicago working on content from the locker room. I know there was a really good quote from Calvin Ridley, a good quote from Jeffrey Simmons. That content will be coming out there that we've seen coming from Sam and Buck and their work. So stay tuned to AtoZSports.com and all of our social media outlets right there. I do want to thank our great partners for our Titan Game Day Live. This is just 1 of 17. We got 16 more of these days coming up. So shout out to X Golf Nashville and now in Murfreesboro, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee. X Golf, play, train, entertain, playxgolf.com to book your bay. BetMGM, log in today. You still got time for your Pro Football Boost Pack to acquire tokens for more winnings. BetMGM is an official partner of the Tennessee Titans. And T-Dot, be a part of the solution to end littering and make sure nobody trashes Tennessee. Visit nobodytrashestennessee.com. That is it for us. Thanks, Easton. I know you'll be back on the morning show on Tuesday. You're probably off going to start writing something for AtoZSports.com too. And then I will see you guys tomorrow morning with Zach Bingham at 8 o'clock Mondays, like we do for the morning show every weekday morning. We'll catch you guys later on. Sam and I will have something tomorrow afternoon. So Sam will be on a segment tomorrow afternoon.
Bring on the gloat.
We'll talk about it, and
don't let him get away with saying the Bears were awesome in this game. Don't let him get away with that.
We'll see what happens with that. But hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sundays. I'll see you at 8 o'clock Monday morning. Appreciate it as always. Thanks.